told you yesterday you was gonna pay me for my pain. I told you yesterday you was gonna pay me for my pain. See, you the type of person, you ain't used to having nobody around you to meet you where you at. All right? I'm equally as crazy. I'm equally mentally and emotionally unstable as you are. All of this was supposed to be put to bed yesterday.
In the hospital. And not okay. So I'm not putting it out. Y'all don't want it. I'm a bad person. Y'all don't want my music is tired. I was at Northside Hospital. You can call up there and ask them. And I was there for almost 5 days. So I don't know. I don't know what person who doesn't need to be in the hospital be in the hospital for 5 days. You know, I wish I would have known, if I'm being honest. Because I heard that somebody told me that he was showing text, so now I can show a text. And please don't, I blocked you. I don't engage. I'm not going to say your name. Just don't talk about me. I don't want anything else to do with you. You're not my friend. Okay, you don't like me. I'm a muppet. I'm a snagger-tooth. You're right, I'm a snagger-tooth. I have teeth, but I can't chew. Can you imagine how that feels? I'm a muppet. Okay, I look like a muppet. I'm a muppet. I'm a muppet, and I like drama, although I was in the hospital. I'm trying to figure out how did I get in drama and I'm in the hospital. Okay. And I can't feel. This is like tingling. That's not. I don't do drugs, but people do drugs. I don't do drugs of any kind.
That I was being implicated in, the things that people were saying about me. Somebody who I had a personal relationship with couldn't even come forth and do simply what I did for somebody that I'm not even friends with. Basic human decency goes a long way. It costed me nothing to get on here and tell y'all Hannah was not the person that Todd was cheating with. Costed me nothing. And it's just unfortunate that she and I's relationship went to shit because she didn't value me enough, or she overvalued whatever she was getting out of the publicity to simply say, y'all, Q or Funky Dineva don't have anything to do with everything that's going on. Please carry on. As a matter of fact, I done fucked around and got mad again, exemplifying just how easy it was. That's all it took.
Tamar! I was hoping everybody was wrong about you. I was believing Tasha K about Funky Dineva. But one thing a gay man gonna do, either lie like hell or tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I feel like he not lying, y'all. And who is Craig?
When you put the egg in it? As long as it's what?
I'm going to show you guys the aftermath. It's soon as
Okay, well, I'm going to turn it back on her. Then let her do her thing. So it doesn't have enough sauce at all. But you get the gist of it.
Okay.
Wasn't it a couple of months ago that Tamar woke up in the hospital bleeding everywhere, teeth missing, and whatever else she said happened to her? Came out talking about she didn't know what had happened to her. All she know that she was with Funky Dineva, and that's all she know. Well, then Funky Dineva came out, this is a couple of months ago, remind you, and said, girl, what? I didn't have nothing to do. I didn't do nothing to you. I don't know what happened to you or your teeth, and I don't know why you bleeding and why you in the hospital. You need to get on this internet and clear my name, because you making it seem like I had something to do with this. I don't know what happened to you. Well, fast forward to yesterday, we getting another update. Now, I don't know, did Tamar come out and say something? Did she do an interview? Why is Funky Dineva giving us a part 2 to this situation. Either way, now we know that on the night in question, the reason why Funky Dineva didn't go upstairs with Tamar when they got dropped off by the Uber at Tamar's house, Funky booked it to his house because he said in the Uber, Tamar and Mendeecees, which is Yandy's husband, correct me if I'm wrong, did they get some divorce that I ain't heard about? Tamar and this lady husband was in the back of the Uber kissing and making out like they some high school kids. She got on booty shorts sitting on his lap, so he probably was feeling all up on them thighs. They was doing so much that they made Funky Dineva uncomfortable. That's why he left and went home. But just to put the wrapping on the present, Funky says, so if anybody know what happened to you and why you woke up in the hospital missing teeth and bleeding everywhere, it's Mendeecees and his best friend, because they both went upstairs with you. Is he trying to insinuate they had a two-man? Tamar, if you don't get on this internet and say something, girl, these people saying you done had a threesome with this girl husband and his best friend.
Because for months, one name kept getting dragged into a situation he says he had nothing to do with. Accusations were flying, narratives were forming, and yet the person at the center of it all stayed silent. Until suddenly, he didn't. And when Funky Dineva finally spoke, the story people thought they understood took a sharp left turn. This isn't just about a friendship falling apart, it's about silence, shifting blame, and a night that still doesn't have clear answers. And once you hear how all the pieces connect, you'll understand why the internet hasn't stopped talking. But to understand how it got this messy, you have to go back to the moment everything changed. It started with Tamar Braxton sharing a message that instantly alarmed fans. She said she had nearly lost her life, that she was found seriously injured, that she didn't remember exactly what happened. Her words were emotional, raw, scary. She described waking up weak, injured, and confused, physically and mentally. And as expected, the internet reacted fast. Support poured in. Concern spread. But alongside the sympathy, something else started brewing. People wanted answers. And when answers didn't come, speculation filled the gap. Because the night Tamar says everything went wrong, she hadn't been alone. That's where Funky Dineva entered the conversation. He had been with Tamar earlier that evening. Not in private, not secretly, but publicly, socially. And almost immediately, people online began connecting dots that weren't confirmed. Suddenly, his name was attached to headlines, comments, and assumptions. No proof, no statements, just theories. And Funky says he watched all of it happen while saying nothing. According to him, people began pointing fingers before facts even existed. And while he was being dragged across social media, he claims the one person who could have easily shut it down didn't. That silence didn't just frustrate him, it hurt. Because from his perspective, this wasn't just internet noise. This was his reputation being questioned while he stayed quiet out of loyalty. But that loyalty didn't last forever. As the days passed, Funky says the backlash only grew louder, and eventually, he reached a breaking point. Tamar later explained that she hadn't spoken up because she was focused on surviving and healing, that she was in no condition to be online defending anyone. But Funky tells a different story. He claims they were communicating privately during that same time. Texting, talking, staying in contact, which led him to ask a simple question. If you could text me, why couldn't you post one sentence clearing my name? That question never got a satisfying answer. And that's when the friendship, at least behind the scenes, started to crack. Because Funky says he felt like he was being used as a shield, someone the internet could attack while the real story stayed hidden. And according to him, the reason it stayed hidden wasn't accidental. Months later, Funky went live on YouTube to finally speak for himself. At first, he focused on clearing his name, explaining his movements, his decisions, why he distanced himself that night. But then he said something that made people stop scrolling. He claimed there was a secret he had been holding on to. Not just one, but two. He said he was protecting Tamar medically and romantically. That word, romantically, changed everything. Because suddenly, viewers realized there might have been a whole other layer to this situation that never made it to the public. And almost immediately, old rumors resurfaced. On the same night Tamar was injured, there had already been whispers online. People claimed she had been seen looking close with someone named Mendeecees, too close to be brushed off as friendly, sitting close, laughing, comfortable. At the time, those rumors didn't gain much traction, mostly because something else happened shortly after. A music video dropped. Tamar released visuals tied to her EP rollout, featuring Mendeecees as her on-screen love interest. The timing made it seem obvious. Oh, this is just promotion. Fans shrugged. The rumors died down, the narrative was neatly packaged, but Funky later suggested that wasn't the full story. According to him, the video didn't come out early by coincidence. It came out early for a reason. And that reason, he claims, was to control the narrative before it spiraled. For a while, things stayed quiet. The internet moved on. Tamar focused on recovery and music. Funky focused on his platform and personal life. It looked like the fallout had cooled. Until Tamar gave an interview. During that interview, she casually referenced Funky again, mentioned a birthday party, framed the night as though she had done something kind for a friend. And Funky says that's when everything snapped. Because from his perspective, the story being told publicly didn't match reality. He says she didn't throw him a party. He says the narrative was being rewritten. And he says that interview reopened wounds he had tried to close. That was the moment he decided to stop protecting anyone. What came next was one of the most talked about live streams he's ever done. Funky claimed he had been uncomfortable for a long time with the relationship dynamics he witnessed. He described moments where Tamar and Mendeecees appeared physically close, even when cameras weren't around. He said it wasn't just for visuals, it wasn't just acting, and it made him uneasy. Then he addressed the night everything happened. According to Funky, when they returned to Tamar's place, he made a decision. He didn't go upstairs. He said he stepped away because he felt like he wasn't meant to be there, that the energy shifted, that certain boundaries had already been crossed. And then he dropped the line that sent shockwaves across social media. He said the only people who truly know what happened to Tamar that night are the ones who went upstairs with her, not him. That statement split the internet instantly. Some people felt Funky was finally defending himself after months of unfair blame. They argued that silence only works until it turns into self-destruction. Others felt he crossed a line. They questioned why someone who claimed to care would ever reveal private matters so publicly, why he waited, why he said anything at all. And then there was the biggest question of all. If Tamar truly doesn't remember what happened, who does? As of now, Tamar hasn't directly responded to Funky's live stream. No long statement, no detailed rebuttal, just silence. And in today's internet culture, silence is never neutral. It doesn't exist in a vacuum. It gets interpreted, dissected, and turned into meaning whether the person intends it or not. To some viewers, that silence immediately reads as guilt, a sign that there's something being hidden or avoided. To others, it feels like exhaustion, the kind that comes from being overwhelmed, misquoted, and emotionally drained after months of speculation. And then there are those who see silence as strategy, a deliberate choice to let the noise burn itself out. But regardless of how people interpret it, one thing is clear: the story doesn't feel finished. When two narratives clash this hard, people don't just want opinions or sides, they want clarity. They want timelines to line up, they want statements that don't contradict each other. And most of all, they want to understand how so many versions of the same night can exist at once. So far, that clarity hasn't come. And the longer it's delayed, the more space the internet has to create its own version of events. When you zoom out, this stops being just another piece of celebrity mess. It becomes a case study in how silence, loyalty, and public storytelling collide in real time. Funky claims he stayed quiet to protect Tamar, even when it cost him his reputation. Tamar, on the other hand, has suggested her silence was about survival, healing, and self-preservation. Both explanations can exist at the same time. And that's where things get complicated. Because in the space between those two silences, a third story was born. One shaped by commentary channels, assumptions, and unanswered questions. And once the internet fills in the blanks, taking control of the narrative feels less like clarification and more like damage control. So now, the question isn't just what happened that night, it's who lost control of the story, and whether anyone can truly take it back. It's this: at what point does protecting someone else turn into hurting yourself? And when silence lasts too long, does the truth come out clean, or does it come out messy? Because one thing is clear: this story didn't explode because of one live stream. It exploded because it had been building quietly for months. And whether Tamar responds or not, the internet has already decided one thing: there's more to this story than we've been told, and sooner or later, the rest always finds a way out.